Welcome back to Cars and Guitars, mix the name, and we're doing another Pumpkins guitar build, but it's a little bit different. So in previous builds we've done, they've been very aesthetically accurate. We've done the Melancholy build, we've done a couple of Siamese builds, Siamese-ish era builds. This one, we're going a Gish build. We're doing the Gish guitar, but we're not necessarily going for aesthetics here. This is purely sound. So on, I think it was the Melancholy video, I had a guy reach out called Ben from Murray Guitar Pickups. He's a small pickup maker based here in Australia. He reached out and said, hey, Gish is my favorite album. Love it, love the tones. He said, I want to do a custom set of pickups that hit the Gish sound. Are you interested? And I said, heck yeah. So this is it's not a sponsored thing or anything. I bought these, but I'm really keen to see how they sound. And what better guitar to use than my 1977 Strat, Olympic White. It's yellowed, it is a hardtail, not like the Gish guitar, which is a, and it's a rosewood board, but I thought this would be the perfect guitar to do this. Got the white pick guard. I'm going to use Obsidian wiring kit because these things are awesome. I've got, if I can get it open, new pickup covers, off-white to match pick guard, and these are the custom pickups. It's cold, fingers don't work. Gish set. Now Ben did send me an email with the rhyme and reason behind how he made these, and I don't know anything about pickups, so I'm going to read from that email while you look at some sexy B-roll. I figured that the Gish guitar has a bit of extra bass and clarity than most of that period. The wire and magnet type had to be the same as any 75 pickup, but the magnet strength can vary a little. So I figured Billy's guitar had a stronger than average magnet Gauss, which is how magnety it is. So I've used 5mm slightly beveled magnets instead of the 4.75mm non-beveled ones that Fender used in 75. This means a bit more magnet power, and the beveling helps to pick up a wider string area. In my opinion, when Fender changed to the thinner magnets, that was a downgrade. However, they also made them the same length and non-staggered, and that helped with the output. So I've used the best of both designs, and I'm pretty happy with the result. '70s Fenders have a bit of a reputation for being crap, but not every one of them was crap. There are some fantastic guitars out of the 70s, and not every guitar from the 50s or 60s is a holy grail. There's some crap ones back then too, but 70s Fenders are notorious for being, especially the later ones, they're notorious for being incredibly bright on the bridge pickup, and this one's no exception. If you don't tweak your amp, it hurts, like it really hurts. 77, first year of the factory 5-way, and by this era all the plastics were black. Now the Gish guitar, obviously not a hardtail either. 73, 74, from what anyone can tell, white plastic era, and obviously it does have a maple board, but we're not going to worry about that, or turning this into a tremolo. I'm going to replace the plastics. We're going for a little bit of an aesthetic thing here, but for the most part, this is purely sound-based. What I am going to do before I start putting all this in and tearing this apart is plugging this in and doing some scientific sound demos. So we can hear a before and after and side by side. Let's go and hear how this sounds pre-Gish pickup swap. All right, we're doing before tones. So this is as stock as you can get. A 77 Stratocaster. Here's that bridge pickup. ice pick. Middle pickup, middle pickup, middle pickup. That's sort of what you'd expect from a regular Strat bridge pickup, in all honesty. And neck. So for scientific purposes, when I put the new pickups in, I'm going to run it the exact same way. So there's some of our clean tones. Let's chuck some dirt on and really open these things up. Let them breathe a bit. Bit of distortion, shall we? Not terrible, not terrible at all. Let's go somewhere in the middle just as a comparison, and we'll just do a little bit of driven sound. A little bit of drive, taking you way back. So there's that. Let's tear this original 70s pickups out, chuck in the new set. I'm really keen to hear how it sounds, especially the cleans. This is a great guitar, but cleans kills me every time. Let's get to it. Let's do some science. All right, let's get this pick guard together. So I've used an Obsidian wiring harness before on the Melancholy build. These things, they're awesome. They're solderless. You don't need to muck around or anything like that. And they just work. super good quality, company out of New Zealand. Look them up if you haven't already. This is probably one of the more basic or simplified standard wiring harnesses. It does have a switch here for balanced and clear. Clear is basically, it's just crystal clear tone, any volume level, which is basically your standard wiring harness, how that would be. Balanced mode actually rolls off some of the highs with the volume control, so you can sort of go between clean and crunch. I'm going to leave this on clear because that's the closest to a completely standard stock wiring harness you get. Comes with an output jack, sticker, obviously very important. These are my pickups. This is actually off a Fender BC signature, so that's kind of nice. I'm going to quickly swap out these pickup covers for a parchment color, kind of give it that, you know, slightly worn look instead of the white. We'll go for there. I don't know, let's just time lapse this. If you haven't seen, got this little deal here. We're doing the middle pickup. You strip back about 6 mil of wire. Strip back about 6 mil of wire, or pull your thing back. You push the thing down, you stick the wire in, and you're done. It really is that easy. Wired. Push it, you want to redo it, you know, you just push it down, pull it back out. I'm actually going to trim up. Don't forget to twist. Push down, insert. And that's it, wired. Golly, that's good looking wiring harness. What's next? I gotta do the output, this thing. And then there's 2 spares here for grounds. There's also this deal here, which is for more grounds, because you can never have enough grounding. There'll be a bridge ground and a body ground, which I'll put in here, but you know, if you wanted to ground your tailpiece or everything, you can ground this to the, but that's that. Oh, knobs. I have knobs. Found them. Obsidian Stratocaster knobs as well. Oh, and a switch tip. That's handy. Whoops, almost forgot. Switch tip. There we go. That legitimately took 10 minutes. We've got what I'm guessing and hoping and should be the secret to the Gish Guitar sound. Let's hook in. Let's get this neck off. This is how scientific this is. I'm going to keep the same strings. New strings always sound good. These are, I don't know how old these are. They're in pretty good nick. I'm going to keep them. I'm just going to pop the neck off, pop this out, put this in. So scientific. Let's go. Oh, beautiful. Now, what I'm gonna do, I've got some toothpicks. And I'm gonna snip little bits off. And put them in that hole. That hole. And the other one. This one. Give those screws something to bite into. Let's use a proper screwdriver. Because I'm grown up. That's the wrong one. Where'd my screwdriver go? So if you weren't paying attention, the reason I put toothpicks in there is because some of the holes in this body are stripped out, and if you drop a toothpick in, it just gives the screw or something a little extra to bite into. You go this way like that. Great, good. This is awful. Oh, it's so bad. All right, you go there. You go there, close enough. Good, in your home, you. Right. Oh, beautiful thing. Where did I put the things that hold it in? Is it them? Oh, where's the neck plate? Right here. Wow, it is raining outside. I did a whole video on this guitar, breaking it down, showing you what makes a 70 Strat a 70 Strat, at least a later 70 Strat. A little bit of history on it, things like that. It's got an interesting backstory, old Stinky. The link's up there. Click it, have a look. It's cool. Neck reattached. Beautiful. Talked. Hidden. All right. Good enough for who it's for. This has got to be, I haven't tested it yet, probably should, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities to follow instructions. That's the Obsidian wiring harness. It just makes it that simple. It has been, since I started pulling it apart, it's been less than an hour, in all honesty. And we've got a whole new pickup set and controls in. Ooh. Now, I think I've already lost a screw. How about that? Who'd have thought? No, I haven't. There it is. Bit of a mix match of screws on this thing too. You're gonna need toothpick. Really raining outside. Cats and dogs. Good weather for ducks though. Oh, this thing kind of looks like a duck. Nothing but revelations here. Alright. Make sure all my screw heads are lined up so that my year 10 woodwork teacher is happy. Love it. Applejack. Gotta get this thing out. Put this in. Probably should have tested it before, but that doesn't matter. We'll set the pickup heights. I'm so keen. Alrighty. Let's adjust some pickups. Yo. Right there. You're up there. Middle, I'm going to set it down low because that's how Corbin runs his. This one, dangerously close to the pickups. Look at that. I really can't wait to hear how this sounds, so let's just go. We're back. Look at it. Now, I've been playing this thing for a couple of hours now since I put it together. These are good pickups. I'm definitely not putting the 70s ones back in. I was trying to think how to describe them. They're a single coil. They're very single coily, but they're not thin like some single coils are. There's a warmth and a depth, but they're not humbuckers, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't make any sense. Just bridge pickup, so clear, but doesn't hurt your earballs like the other pickups did. Let's try the neck. Chef's kiss. All right, let's throw some dirt on these and see how. No, we're going to throw just fully distorted. These sound absolutely fantastic driven. I've got humbuckers that don't sound this good. I don't know, wizard stuff inside them. But to get this sound out of a single coil, you can play chords, but there's still so much definition in each note. Single coils, they sound that good. Because we did clean and then we did really, let's go back to just slightly driven push sound. Marshall, Green Rhino. Keeping in mind as well that these are the same strings as before. This is not fresh strings. If you need any more convincing that these do hit that Gish sound, this is the third or fourth time I've tried to wrap this video up, and I've been trying to put into words what not only makes these great pickups, but what captures the Gish sound. And I think I'm finally close. They have the crisp, articulate top end and note definition of a single coil without being overly bright like the original 70s pickups, but they've got this full-bodied mid-range and thickness of a humbucker without getting muddy. This allows it to cut through and still sound so full and rich and powerful, especially with distortion, because you're not losing any note clarity. This is a big call. These might just be the best single coil pickups I've ever played. I was emailing Ben, the guy who made these, and he is actually going to put them on his website for sale, which is pretty rad, so you can grab yourself a set. Even better, there's a promo code, which I'm going to put on the screen or in the description thing down there. Grab yourself a bridge, a neck, grab them all. What else is left to say? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for plenty more.